And I just want to welcome you all. It's, I'll tell you everything about why this is happening in a minute as people are coming in, but it's just a fantastic greeting from me on this full moon to you. Could everybody mute? Just to make sure, because I probably haven't set that up. So if I'll try and do it, if you can, please do, just for the recording. Um, yeah, even more. Good grief. And this is literally in London. I'm looking out and there's the sunset. And very shortly we'll be seeing the moon. And I would love if you could just put in the chat where you are in the world. Whereabouts are you? Oh, Hawaii. Sue, Hawaii. I wonder if it's very late for you. Manchester, England. Amazing. Helen, hello. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Monty. Freezing in North London. Geraldine, I'm with you. Oh, it's 6 a.m. Okay, Sue, I get that. Ottawa, Canada. And now, whoop, Northern California. Alora, hello, my darling. Um, and I'm just going to repeat because things have changed a little bit since I was last doing events online. I haven't got you all to mute, so if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate it if you can handle that bit, just so we don't have speaking going over one another. But welcome, welcome to this full moon. And I want us all to start by just shutting your eyes and taking some really deep breaths. Really deep breaths. So expand as much as you can of your body. So when you first start, it's a bit like, trying to get in there. But as we go on, the body softens. You're able to reach parts that you haven't reached before. And we will be doing some specific breath work later. And so I just want you to get ready for this. And so if you've taken a few breaths now, I want you to take the biggest breath, filling up chest, side ribs, back, upper chest, hold, and then sigh. And another one of those. Take another deep breath in. You can keep your eyes shut. And sigh. And one more of those. Deep breath in. And sigh. And so come into the space. So the reason that I was guided to run this today is because we're entering a new year, obviously, not in a kind of indigenous teaching way, which would have been the winter solstice. But in terms of the very ordinary way, hello, Grace, I've just seen you. In terms of the ordinary way of the change of the year, we have now entered into a new year. And what happens with all the traditional ways of looking at things in the ordinary is that we enter a new year. You all think, oh, thank God that, I had a year from hell last year. So I've done it myself. I go, oh, thank God we're in a new year. And I don't know if you know how long resolutions last. Like, just to give you an idea, many people will do the traditional thing of going, okay, I'm going to do some resolutions. Life is going to change. We're going to bring peace on earth. And it lasts actually till the 2nd of January, right? That's statistically. And we're on the 4th day. So all of your resolutions have been blown out the window. And what I was called to do at this time, I'm going to just talk briefly, a little chunk of my life and what's going on. And then I'm going to invite some of you to speak and where are you and all of that. But many, many years ago, having quite an alternative life, I ended up following the path where I got initiated as a high priestess of this land. So this is very much to do with indigenous teachings of Britain, Ireland, Scotland. And definitely is an unusual path. There are some other priestesses on this call, ceremonial people. And this is my 33rd year from when I was initiated. And what that means is I've got threes, 2 3s, 3 times 3 is a very magical number. And coming up to this time, I was aware, as many of you are, being quite the activist, like somebody else is here, like Hugh, doing it in my own way, that I was very saddened by the world, right? It's very hard to bear this separation when you're, a spiritual being. And that it reminded me that a master teacher that I worked with, Bobby Klein, who some of you met, I think Sue Ann met him in Tulum, who died 2 years ago. I worked with him for many years, and he said to me, there will be a point in your life where you shift from being a spiritual business teacher into being a spiritual teacher. And this is what's happened. So the identity that I'm moving into is more, though I've built big businesses with people, and that's a big part of what I do. I'm building a big business right now, and I'm fascinated by that. I actually thought, what could I do on a spiritual level to stir some little seeds around the planet to help all of you in a completely give back kind of way of some of the teachings that I work with, to be able to help you on your path. And this is not, when you take on the role of a high priestess, the only thing that high means, besides, yes, there is that quandary that we have, psychedelics. I've done psychedelics. I've definitely done ceremony. I've done ayahuasca. Some of you are from ayahuasca ceremonies here. It really means teacher. And so when you take on the role of teacher, my vow or my oath that I made 33 years ago was that I must teach. And not all the stuff to do with, business, that many of you know me in that capacity. And I've been teaching entrepreneurs for about 20 years. But more in the capacity of what are the teachings right now that make a difference on this planet to shift us through this transition. And you will also know, probably many of you, that we've had the year of the snake. We're still in it, all the way till February 17th in the Chinese New Year. The year of the snake has been shedding. And I don't know if all or some of you relate to that, but when I say, I am joking slightly, the year from hell, it was literally the year from hell for me, 2025. And I like to think that 4 days ago, it's like all been swept to the side. But that is not how the snake year works. There may be the tail of the snake ready to drop right now for you. A few more surprises, a few more sheddings to go before we get to this energetic of the fire horse. And fire horse is expansive. I mean, everybody's looking forward to it. It's great. You gallop forward. You don't have to deal with the pain anymore. But every single animal or position, if you like, will also have its shadow side. So it's not like, you get out of jail on February 17th. Everything just becomes sweet and pretty. What we have to do is to develop capacity, and the capacity to deal with the good, the bad, the ugly, the messy, the capacity to go through it all. And with the moon in Cancer, what we have as an indicator is that this year has started at a peak. There is this adage, which I've mentioned in some social media, that when you start something, start it the way you intend to continue. And so we often look at symbols in the tradition that I work with. You look at the symbols, we look at what are the signs of how this year will be. So we've started with this incredible moon. Like, honestly, when I was out last night, because it lasts for 3 days, the 3-day period of a moon. And I was driving down the road coming back exactly at sunset. And I actually had this moment of like that. I have not seen a moon this big probably ever in my life. And that's being a moon priestess. That says something. Like, we're talking about, yes, I was initiated 33 years ago, but let's say 10 years before that, I was actively engaging with the moon. So I'm saying, as a sign, as a symbol, I saw something that I myself have never seen. And it was astonishing. In fact, so astonishing, I had to drive around my hood taking photographs and trying to catch a glimpse of it. So that to me is noteworthy. The other thing about it is moon in Cancer, full moon in Cancer, is all about the emotion, the home, the family, the bed, Mother Earth. And so home is not just the house that you live in or the apartment or wherever you are. I'm reading Grace is just saying, my whole garden was completely lit all night till early hours of the morning today. Yes. And so I'm seeing this. There's a big symbol going on for me that this very simple act of coming and doing some magical work with you is actually going to shift the planet. And it's an audacious statement to say that, but I know you're in different parts. I know some of you practice deep spiritual work. Here's who you are as I look out. You are people who have made my life significantly better. People who I've taught in business terms. People who I've bumped into in ceremony. Leaders of ceremony are here. Leaders of plant medicine. One of the best doulas I've ever met is here. Magical channelers are here. People who are activists are here. So all of you, and I could go on and on and on, all of you, I wanted not to have a kind of separate world this time to do this kind of work, but instead to invite in everybody who has moved me. The invitations went out. And this is really what I was guided to do, that the work that we do today, I have a feeling this is a very special year. We're moving from peak to peak to peak symbolically. We're not entering in a slow motion kind of way, like let's get ready. No, you're here, right? And if you can translate that into your own world of like, who are you? Who am I? At the level of magnificence. Who are you at the level of magnificence? So it's not, I've got a job and I look good in that way, or, I did this good deed or whatever, and that was a good thing. It's like, how can you become bigger? How can you occupy a space on this planet that is going to make a profound difference, not just for yourself, but for everybody else? This is everybody else's home. We are here with a massive family. Family dynamics is not always easy. However, at this point in time, we actually have an opportunity to bring ease. And some of it is about Cancer is a very interesting sign because it can be so loving, it can be so compassionate. It is the ocean, the waves, they come and go, and there's this kind of lulling. It can be the mother, it can be the empress, it can be the queen. It errs on the feminine. It doesn't matter what gender-based dynamics you're interested in. It errs on a feminine receivership kind of energetic. And its biggest shadow is that it gets resentful. So you feel the energy of resentment. It's like, this is what I know. And I know some of you are Cancerians or have it, positioned importantly in your chart, that cancer can hold grudges forever, right? It's like this stubborn thing. It's all sweet and lovely and, gorgeous and all the things and until it's pissed off. And it can hold on to this irritation for forever, right? And it's its biggest downfall because when it's resentful, it is repellent. It repels. It doesn't cause harmony. It does all the things that, if you imagine a harmonious home and a loving mother, what happens if mother is resentful, right? It's so that's the shadow aspect of this. And so today what I want to do is I'd love to hear where you guys are at. Like, how are you feeling right now about this year? Can you feel your magnificence? And I'd also like to know, can you feel also when you hit that resentment button? Can you, who do you resent? Well, I could list a few, right, on the planet of resentments. And we're going to purify that. And it doesn't mean cleansing, as in, Helen is stuck in resentment phase. Thank you for being honest about that, Helen. Yeah, it's like, if somebody has done something on menopause, so the void. um, we're not going to like cleanse as in, like pure waters, but what we are is going to give a filtration, if you like, to some of this kind of energetics. Resentment is very stubborn and it's got this energetic of like, it's sticky, it stays stuck, it's freaking righteous, and you can't move it. So some of the work that I want to do is to release some of that. So that's enough, intro. Right now, I'd just love to hear how some of you are. And if you want to step up and have a little moment, please do. It means just come up and tell me what's going on for you at the beginning of this year.
I would like to
Be
say
brave.
something.
Ooh, please. Monte
Yeah, so
Clarks.
on the resentment, it's so funny because I'm a Cancer moon, and I can just bite into it, and it's funny too because I'm also a Pisces sun, and so you hear this like as soon as the Pisces is done with you, done, and it's funny to hear that I have it in the Cancer moon as well because I always think of it as Piscean. But one thing that I was really thinking about when you were talking about that resentment, I was having a conversation because I've been living in South America now this year and in Central America before. And one of the things that I'm really letting it do for me and paying attention to, because I don't know how you guys are in England, but in the United States, if you're driving and somebody's trying to park or anything, it's like people are on the horn and get out of my way and da da da, like very much like that. And it's a lot of resentful energy. And I mean, I used to drive that way. I took for many years ago, I noticed like, oh, this is really destroying my system. I've been working on it. But down here in Central America, like if somebody is trying to park and it's taking them a while, nobody bumps, nobody does not anything. It's just like people understand that sometime I'm going to have a problem parking as well. And people are patient, like even walking on the street, like I was going through a very busy area right now to go to a shop. And I feel the tension and the impatience come up within me when people stop. And I want to like my American response is be like, yeah, hey, what do you do? And I just shut up. What would it be like to not let this bother me right now? And I've been making it a practice this entire year. And it's just a really it's been a kind of a challenge and it's great to be able to see that like oh, that thing that I've been trained is not, doesn't have to be, you know? And it's like, and as you were saying
Well,
about the
thank
resentment,
you.
it opens up so much like openness. Like I want to stay open with my energy.
It seems like such a tiny thing. I got punched in the head. You know this anyway, Monty. Not that long ago, actually, in London, over a parking issue, over somebody not like, just a jam up in a street. And the guy's girlfriend got out of the car and punched me several times in the head. It was astonishing to me. And actually, what it caused was for me to, yeah, I can be a bit like that. London is like that, of course, England is like that, beeping and whatever. But it's not where I want to be. And what I did was unpick the entire situation to see how I could be better about it. Because I am like, like this when she came for me and grabbed my phone and everything. And then I was telling Monty as well, what I imagined in my head was some kind of smooth kung fu. And actually, what I ended up doing was this. It was like this pathetic little, like that. So I've had a lot of time to, yeah, she did touch me. Yeah. And nobody did anything. I reported it to the police. They can't do anything, uh, whatever. And so something that small that can cause that much hatred on the planet, I have done a big U-turn, if you like, about it. It's like I'm not willing to be in that space. Actually, that is not my magnificence. Let's put it that way. So yeah, anyone else? How are you? What's
Hey,
up? Hey, Lori from Tell Us Where You Are.
I'm in Iowa in the US on my little homestead. Wow, Inarra, what? I did not know that. I'm going to tell a quick little story because I always say you'll know how deeply rooted your spirituality is as soon as you get in the car, right? And like I always, if I have the opportunity, I lived in van life for a year and a half, and if I have the opportunity, I take the scenic route. Like it just slows us down. And like when people come up behind me and they're riding my butt, I just pull over because I'm like, is it worth me getting worked up about this and feeling this pressure? And I'm like, no. So I pull over and I just wave them by. So I was in Boulder recently for an event and I was turning left and there was a girl that I couldn't see because she was in my blind spot. So when it went green, I started to go off. And as soon as she came out of my blind spot, I stopped. She freaked out. She jumped up. She was like, fuck off, and like just freaking out. So I rolled my window down and I said, you were in my blind spot and I also stopped. What else would you have me do? I just said it really calmly, right? And she was like, fuck you. She kept going, but I know that I planted a seed because I didn't match her. I didn't react to her reaction. And I gave her the truth. I shared this reality with her. And it started to bring her back to the present moment that we're all going through this experience together and things happen and it's not ever going to be how we expect it, right? But real quick, I just wanted to share that story. And real quick about the Cancer full moon. When it was coming on, I was moving into all of the emotion of Cancer, right? And that was the point where I decided to go into surrender and believe that the emotion wanted to show me something. So I started equating it to home, like what's not working in my life? Because when emotion comes up, we actually take the mask off and we get more raw and vulnerable. And that's where we can start to see more of our truth. But if we're resisting the emotion, then we actually resist the truth that wants to come through. So I just really opened myself up to that. And this Cancer moon is conjunct Jupiter and Sirius, the fixed star. And so I just let myself be emotional. I let myself be like, whoa, like not pretty much nothing is working from 2025, right? And I had to kind of laugh about it. And then the next morning, because I really dove in and didn't resist it, Jupiter really activated more for me. And I suddenly felt this expansion of Jupiter where I was like, oh, now I can get the inspiration because I went through the process. I went through like the cycle or season of the energies and allowed them to do the work with me instead of me working against them. So I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about that because I feel more inspiration than I have in the last year to year and a half right now. And I'm just like riding this wave with it. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm present for this. So that's a little bit about my experience. Thank you. Mwah. Love you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, you see the level of people who have shown up here, right? You guys are amazing. And you have no idea how much you have influenced me in moments that whatever I'm going through, the wisdom, the teaching, all of you. So this gathering is really profound. And resentment is an amazing topic. It's quite an ugly little emotion. You can imagine like seeing somebody resentful on the street or in your family or whatever. It's such a stuck energy. And this is one of the things that we want to release in order to be magnificent. And I mean it. Like there are movers and shakers in this group like nobody's business. Like the seeds that you are going to plant this year will ripple out just like the waters of Cancer and have profound effect. We are the ones. So anyone else want to say anything?
I could say something. I'll be brave. Can you hear me?
Be brave. Yes, Geraldine.
My moon is in Cancer, so I sympathise with anyone who has moon in Cancer. It's a very difficult one to have, but so much of what you're saying resonates with me, Inarra, because I have quite a few. I have a lot of things on my plate. I'm spinning quite a few plates at the moment, so I work with a couple of different medicines. I've trained as a therapist, and I'm still holding down part-time my old job from my old life. And what I've noticed is that when I get resentful, it's a signal to me, it's communication to me that I'm getting burnt out. And I've started to notice that over the years, that when I start getting resentful, I'm not really able to be fully present with other people. And for me, I think that for the last few years and definitely this year, what I need to work on is how to be able to look after myself so that I can serve the people in my community better. Because if I'm not serving myself, I just can't do that. So I'm very much, I'm very familiar with that feeling of feeling resentful. And it's just, gives me that idea that there's something that needs to give, that I need to slow down, or I need to take on less work, or I need to charge more, whatever it is that I need to do to be able to, to be able to work properly. And I remember, I think the last time that I saw you in person, Inarra, we had a long conversation, didn't we, on the car journey up to the ceremony. And I think that was probably the beginning for me, sowing the seeds of really knowing my own value, charging more for my work. And that really has worked for me. It has actually raised my game. It means that the people who are coming in now and visiting me for Cambo are really high level people. They're better than me. They are people who are really willing to put in the work and willing to put up with discomfort and do something, which means that, they then leave my house and they go somewhere, they go into their own communities, and they're able to be really high level in whatever it is that they do. So yeah, that's the other thing for me really, is having to make some decisions about what to let go of so that I can focus more on my work. Various reasons that I won't bore you with. I've got to open up my practice a lot more this year because I'm working towards like a new accreditation, and it's scaring me a bit because it is extra work, but I sort of feel like I have to do it. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Yeah. And thank you for this, for this
Thank
space.
you so much. Say that last bit again, sorry.
say thank you for holding this space for us.
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. And I wanted to tweak something that you said. Nobody is better than you. You said they're better than you. The people who are coming, they're high level. It's like nobody is better than you, right? Nobody is better than us. That's one of the issues on the planet. And if we get into the self-worth that goes with the home, the bed, the Mother Earth, etc., which I'll go into a little bit later, we're entering a very high level. There's a spiritual moment coming, and we want to notice that kind of languaging. So I'm not beating you up, I'm elevating you right there. Hugh, I don't know if you unmuted because you wanted to speak, but you
Yes, I would.
have, oh, there you are, and you're in outer
Hi.
space.
Yes,
Hi.
as usual. So, hi. It's a pleasure to see you, Inarra, and the rest of you whom I don't know. I first of all, just people are checking in this way. My sun is in Cancer, but fortunately, my moon is in Leo. Otherwise, you might not see me here. But also, my Mars is Cancer. So I think, without being an astrologer, to me that suggests that I really know how to do the resentment, and I can make it martial. You know, it can be quite severe. And I resonate a lot with what people are saying about their ordinary lives and our experiences of keeping our spirits intact. And I'm going to even try to use this word as magnificent as possible, which is not a word I default to by any means, but and I appreciate it for that reason. But I was going to add here that my resentment is actually attached very much to despair and rage about the world, about the whole world. And it's alleviated almost only when I'm involved in Palestinian solidarity work at this point, because the fact that we are live streaming a genocide and people are going on okay about that, and that our governments are complicit in it, it is almost more than I can, I don't know, get out of bed with, I suppose, is one way of figuring it. So I just want to, I'm sure I'm not alone in that experience. I know I'm not alone in that experience. So I just wanted to raise that kind of larger dimension of our resentments and our struggles, to keep our hearts open enough to do the work, because I could quite easily take up assassination at some points. So, and it's obviously not what I want to do. But, you know, because the resentment on a political and social level and cultural level can be so extreme that it's really hard to find that source to continue to do the heart work in a larger context. Blessed be.
Yes, I hear you. I know. I know all about that one. And you know, and we're going to tweak something even with that. We all know that, right? Because I think we're all pretty nice people and we're dealing with some, you know, assholes on the planet who are in leadership positions. One of the things about that I thought was most profound about what you're talking about is that your resentment is linked to despair. And so we're going to move into that as well. Inherently, on a kind of spiritual level, the world is dealing with such a massive karmic experience that we will not have the ability to understand why children in Gaza, after being annihilated and, you know, highest level of amputees ever in the history of humankind, and then they are in the floods that are going on now and they're starving, and it goes on and on and on, right? That's the despair of watching this kind of, you know, global transmitted genocide. And there is something we will never understand about this, right? This is on the karmic level of why a soul has chosen to manifest where it does. And that's deep spiritual teaching. One of the things that I'll tell you a little story. not that it will answer this fully, but I went to an ayahuasca retreat, and I've done ayahuasca 26 times. So, I've done it a few times. And in this particular instance, I'd had moments where I was taught, literally, they call ayahuasca the madre, the mother who teaches you, very appropriate for this experience today. So the mother had taught me a few things. One was the influence of when I send out good energy, if you like, or good vibes, how it affects so many people that I can't even imagine. That when I speak light, when I call in kindness, that there is this ripple effect. So I'd had experiences with that kind of thing many times, and then I hit the frickin' dark night of the psychedelic soul, which I'm sure Geraldine knows about. I arrived, and it all looked great. I was going on this trip of, what's the light? And then it was like, no, you're going to get a deep teaching tonight. And it's going to be about the healing work that you do. And I was like, okay, this is all in my head, of course. I'm having conversations with the madre in that way. And all of a sudden, I see a tightrope. So there's a tightrope that I am now on. And I'm guided. This is healing work. I'm told this is how they're going to help me become a much better healer. And so on one side, I start to see visions of the things which hurt my heart more than anything. So the first one is about industrial farming, the worst of industrial farming. And I start seeing these images, and me on the tightrope as the healer, at some points I turn and look at this stuff, you can imagine the atrocities of factory farming, the inhumanity. And then I'm like, oh, I just want to go this way. But if I go this way, I fall off the tightrope, and then I have to shoom. And then there's this, and this lasted hours and hours and hours of this teaching. So I'm wandering along, trying to take on the yogi attitude of witnessing. And that doesn't work either, because witnessing has no cold witnessing, I'm talking about, has no power. I'm looking at these beings, and I'm kind of not wanting to really see it, right? It's like, oh, I don't want to see that. It's another horrific scene. Here we go. And that doesn't work either. So what I am taught by the end of this evening, I see scenes from war, all sorts of things. And what I was taught is to be completely empathetic to these beings, look into their eyes, be there with them, understand, but not so much that I lose my own path, because I'm here to experience my experience. I'm not there to experience what they've experienced. I'm there to empathize and not to deny it and not to cut it out. And so it was like warm witnessing, being able to utterly connect with these beings on one level, and then absolutely not do the denial thing of, try to get away from it all. It's like, no, hold my energy as I'm walking down this tightrope. And the very last message that I got, I howled. I made these noises in the night that were just like raw, despair, tragedy, you can imagine. Final message of the night was, and this is their karma. They chose this. And it was like, we will never understand that piece, but there was a resonance that I had with it that is like, I can be the healer. I'm not going to be cold, like, hey, it's okay for you to deal with that. No, it's like I'm going to emotionally connect with you on that level. And I am meant to be in my life also. Don't forget the beauty. Don't forget the experiences. My karma is to be here. And it was like, don't separate yourself from that. So I don't know if that helps at all, because it still doesn't answer the biggest question, like, why the fuck is the world so fucked up? You know, it doesn't answer that. That's the piece that we humans and we healers are having to sit with, but not cold, not like the way witnessing is taught, like, hey, you just witness. You know, there's a selfishness to that as well. So this is blowing your heart open in order for you to be the answer to it all, right? And to also appreciate your karma, like you're here to experience beauty. Power dynamics are something that we need a shift in. And so the old order power that we're seeing now is all the old order grasping the final, you know, moments of it. And so it's particularly ugly right now. So how do you grow in capacity, right? To hold all of this, all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the messy. And it's to do this deep, you know, warm witnessing, like Lauria's just reminded me. It's to do the deep work on ourselves so we are able to hold the capacity of this. Would anyone like to say anything else?
I'll jump in.
Yeah, hello, darling.
Hi. Hi everyone, I'm Laura. I'm from London, but I live in Northern California, so we have a winter. So it's interesting with the resentment piece. I connected the resentment to envy, and I think my therapist said that I was a 4 on the Enneagram. I'm still figuring that all out, but you know how how I could have resentment, like, oh, how comes they're living the life that I want to have, or you know, stuff like that, what comes up, and really examining that. But I just got a long email letter from my ex, which I showed a couple of close friends, and one was like, oh, he's definitely in a program because he's talking about step 4, resentment. And I hadn't connected resentment with addiction, but it's given me that opportunity to look at my resentments, you know, in life. And I've been noticing them on a daily basis. And I'm definitely, you know, I'm going through the winter time and it's gray, and I have seasonal affective disorder, so I get depressed when it's gray. But my resentment for the small things, like I love my pets, but getting up in the morning and like, oh no, my cat didn't, you know, pooped outside of the cat litter box. I've got to clean it up. I've got to go outside and clean up the dog poop. I've got to, you know, like, oh, I went into my garage yesterday, and I'm not really a squeamish person, but I saw something in the corner of my eye and jumped, and I might have screamed a bit. I might have gone, oh, it was a dead rat in the rat trap. So I had to deal with that. And like I said, I'm not really, you know, it was like unpleasant, but I wasn't like, I can't deal with that. But I noticed my resentment coming up. Like I'm resenting. I feel so grateful to be able to have a home and, you know, own a house, although the bank still owns it. But this resentment of keeping it all running and taking care of it all. And I want to move into the gratefulness rather than resentful. So I'll just leave it there. So thanks for listening, everyone.
See, venting it gets rid of it as well, right? Allowing yourself to express it, which early on, Laurie was saying, like the expression of the full emotion, to go through the whole thing. And that's the capacity. And Sue is saying yes to releasing resentment, which I've noticed popping up more frequently when I feel taken advantage of. So it's a sticky energy. And one of the things I want to do with this technique, that I'm going to take you through a guided path working like in a minute, we are going to go into the resentment, and I want you to feel it. Like whatever it is, be irrationally ridiculous, like a cartoon character of I resent, Beyonce and Jay-Z for having the life that they have. Whatever you need to do. It's like get a grip on what your version of resentment is, because we're going to dilute it, shall we say. I want to also mention that as part of my what I want to do this year, I will run 4 of these. So quarterly, it's not going to be monthly or anything like that, but quarterly, I want to work with a full moon and to work through the seasons. So right now we're at the first one of the year, and the next one I will do will be the spring equinox. Come here, baby. I've got a big white kitten coming in. Actually, I'm going to introduce you to my Osiris. Come here, my darling boy. So this year here he is. This year I got 2 kittens, and look how big this one is. He's 9 months old. He's gigantic, my white lion. So yes, I'm gonna run these things to, in a way, like dilute things. That feels appropriate as a kind of gift giving. I want to do some of that. Because I'm working with 33, I'm also going to be doing 3 bodies of work. And I'll send you an email about this later. But one of them will be working on the antithesis of all the kind of resentment and all the anger in the world. I've got a huge body of work on pleasure that I've been working on for some time. Some of you know I created an aphrodisiac oil. It was the most bizarre, random thing that I suddenly did 4 years ago, and I've been working on that as well. So within that there's kind of tantric breath work, because the home is also the bed. And if the bed isn't having a good time, then you can have resentment. And, I do believe that actually one of the reasons we have war is because there's a lack of pleasure. When you have pleasure, you just can't even think of, resentment, anger, or whatever. So there's a huge body of work I'm doing on pleasure and all the tantric breath work and that kind of thing. I'm also going to be working, I'm doing the biggest vision that I've ever done in my life. Some of you know that I've created a massive business. I collided with big business. I'm spiritual. That's my top note. Ceremony is my thing. But I ended up creating a 10 million pound business, and I'm going even bigger now. So this is something that I'm working with this year. And if anybody also wants to work alongside, I will do a 6-month kind of training with entrepreneurs, but using spiritual work. So that's my business, my pleasure, and my give back. So if you need to have a little break, please go to the bathroom now, do whatever you need to do, and then we're going to go straight into this path working. And anyone else wants to come in and speak before we do? If you feel inclined, please unmute and say hello.
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 Hello. Yeah, I thought I'd just have a quick hello there. So I just looked at my chart, and I'm a Sun descending and Jupiter Cancer, and I feel the moon is really powerful at the moment. And it's funny, I don't feel like it's a new year at the moment. I feel like I'm in the depths of the darkness and just the shedding still. So it's really interesting that I'm listening to this today. But I'm a space holder and a healer, and I feel like I'm at the precipice of change. And it's like I feel like all that you do as an empath, a healer, a compassionate person is just give. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do anymore, because I don't see that the ripples are worth the impact it has on, the people holding the space. And I get I get a little bit upset and a bit disheartened sometimes when I put on these incredible events and everybody says they're going to come the last minute, every drops out, and all this energy that you put in. And I think, is it just time? Is it the universe saying, right, don't do this, focus your attention somewhere else? Is it self-doubt, or is it just that, because I'm going through the menopause, is it because I'm supposed to be going inward? But yeah, I'm in this phase where I just like, I don't know. I don't know if we are supposed to be helping other people, if we're supposed to be healing other people, if it's their own journey. So I just feel like I stepped into this path without choosing it. It was just my role for my entire life. And now I'm like, now what's next? So I'm really intrigued as to what's coming up because I feel frustrated. I feel I just watch what's going on. And when I send really beautiful energy back, it's like I see the ripples, but then I also see it hit the people who are stuck in the darkness, and it's almost like it bounces back at me tenfold with anger and rage. So the people that don't like seeing that light kind of throw it back and try and put mine out. So it's like there's a big battle going on at the moment, and when the more positive I put out, the more people I lose as followers. Like I'm building this thing. People don't like engaging in positivity; they like engaging in the toxicity and the challenge. And I'm just, I'm at a loss.
You might be at a threshold rather than at a loss. You might be right on this precipice of pulling back a little bit on some levels and some of the energetic work that you need to do because you sound like you're burned out a bit,
Exhausted.
right?
Yeah.
Exhausted. Much of the work that I'm working on right now topic is stress, because 100% of all the people that I have been my clients, 100% have been burned out, right? It sounds so simple, this little, the stress thing or the burnout. It is huge. And because you can't nourish yourself, then it occurs like, you put out something good and then there's a backlash of bad. So watch this space. I might have a conversation with you, on a private level to talk through that. Yeah. And
because when you're the
we're
main
almost
space
ready.
holder and everybody comes to you, it's like, oh, okay, where is all the other big space holders or the guides? We're missing those elders, and it's, I feel that.
Well, we are also the ones, right? We are also the ones. So if you have had a long-term gift, guidance, or whatever, a bit like I was saying, I was trained to be a teacher. I have to teach, even if nobody's listening. And strangely enough, there are people watching you that you will never see, right? It's like amazing. Occasionally I get these random comments on Facebook and I'm like, excuse me, hello? Did you even see that? Who are, this person? I think, God, I've never heard from you. And then suddenly, so there are people watching all the time. And right now, it's a really potent time. So, thank you for sharing that.
Thank
Right. So, is everybody sitting comfortably? Then let's begin. So, allow yourself to sit back comfortably in the space, uncross your legs, uncross your palms, shut your eyes, and allow yourself to really sink into the chair. And take some deep breaths. And exhale through your mouth. If you can, inhale through your nose. If you know breath work, yogic breathing. But exhale through your mouth. And as we continue, there's a difference between yogic breathing where the breath work is just breathe out and shamanic breath work where it's So please feel free to really use like that's your exhale, right? We're clearing. And allow yourself to feel the feet on the earth, or if you're sitting cross-legged, feel your body on the chair or the earth. And connecting deeply into this sign of Cancer, which is Mother Earth. Allow the body to soften. Allow the jaw to soften. You can move your jaw side to side. Open your mouth really wide. Stick your tongue out as far as you can. And then bring it back in. And another deep breath in. And exhale. So going to the breath now, you can put your hands on your belly. But as you breathe, I just want you to focus just on your belly. So feel the belly rising as you breathe in. And exhale. And another one of those. Breathing into the belly, feel it rising. And exhale. Another one of those. Deep breath into the belly. And exhale. And now placing the hands on the side ribs. Next breath, breathing in, you're feeling the side ribs moving sideways. Breathing in. Exhale. Another one of those, breathing deep into the side ribs. And exhale. And another one of those, breathing into the side ribs. Exhale. Now moving to a place that you will find a little bit hard to connect with, back of the heart. So you might, as you breathe into the chair and feel the back pressing against it. And exhale. And again, breathing into the back of the heart. Exhale. Another one of those, deep breath into the back of the heart. Now we're moving into another area which might be more difficult. It's the high sternum, front of the body below the throat. You can tap it if you wish. Breathing into that space. And exhale. And again, breathing into this space. Upper chest. And exhale. And another one of those, deep breath in. Taking 2 normal breaths to acclimatize your body. We're going to do a technique called capacity breathing. This is something that I developed. It's not yogic. It's a combination of different techniques, and when you first try it, it might feel complicated, shall we say, but just go with it. We're going to do 3 of them. So breathing into the belly, side ribs, back, upper chest. Sip the breath and hold. And while you hold, allow the whole of your body to start to relax, the whole of your body to turn to jelly. You can move your head this way and that and feel that core place which is holding, but the rest of the body is not. And when you're ready to breathe out, you hold for as long as you can. breathe out with that shamanic sound. Some of you will be able to hold your breath for a long time, but when you've finished that breath, take 2 more breaths, normal breaths, to acclimatize yourself. And then we start again. Breathing into the belly, get the belly to move. Side ribs, back, upper chest. Sip the breath, sip the breath, and sip the breath again. And hold. And you're holding for as long as you can possibly take it. So while you're holding, allow the body, the shoulders, the face to relax. So the only part of you that is holding is that core. And you are holding, the instruction is for as long as you can take it. And just when you think you can't take it anymore, try just moving a little whoop this way and that, and guess what? You can take a little bit more. Notice how powerful you are. And then when you can't take it anymore, breathe out with that shamanic sound. And then 3 regulating breaths to allow yourself to come back to normal breathing. And now we're going to go for the big one. So I want you to think of it as the big one. Breathing into the belly. Take your time, breathing into the side ribs. Slow breath into the back. Slow breath into the upper chest. Slow sip the breath. Sip the breath. And sip the breath again. And you are holding as long as you can possibly hold it. Soften the rest of the body. Allow your face to relax. Allow this energy to move through you. Feeling yourself calm, yet holding. Doing something that is a little bit tough, but holding. And again, when you can't take it anymore, and bring yourself back to normal breathing. And imagining that you are sitting on a beautiful beach with the perfect temperature, relaxed at twilight. Nobody else is on this beach. As you turn your head to the right, you see the stretch of beach going all the way out, and the land around it, depending upon which kind of beach you've chosen. It could be wild Atlantic, northern. It could be beautiful tropical, southern. Choose your beach, and then as you turn your head to the left, looking all the way in the other direction, imagining the stretch of beach that goes as far as the eye can see. And bringing your head back to center, you are staring out at the most beautiful ocean. and you feel in tune with the ocean. You're hearing the waves, the swell of the waves moving in and out. And you are aware that the whole of your body, which is made of water, is moving with the tides on the outside. What is on the inside is on the outside, and you become present to the fact that you can actually feel the tides within yourself. Within each pore of your body, there is a tide. And you become present to the fact that you are all flowing, all moving. There is nothing static. The whole of your body is flowing like the water. And you become present to the fact that just like the water, you don't need to breathe air. You are already completely in tune with water. And standing up, as you look down at your feet on the beach, you notice the quality of the earth beneath you. You send down roots through the base of your feet energetically, deep into this beach. Feeling the stirring of little roots going through. It might be one root, or it might be an entangled group of spiraling roots going deep into the earth. And as you do so, you feel immediately more grounded. The energetic of moving your feet means that you are also moving these energetic roots as you walk forward. And there is this compulsion that you feel to walk towards the ocean. As you start to walk, you feel this groundedness of the earth, even though the sand is moving this way and that way. And you feel what it's like to have your feet in the water. Notice the temperature. Is it deeply warm and soothing? Or does it wake you up a little bit when you step into the waves? What is it like as you start to walk deeper into the ocean, feeling this deep connection to earth, yet the sand is moving all around your feet? Feeling this groundedness as you walk out, compelled to walk into the ocean. As you get deeper, there's a point when you are no longer landing on the earth, the sand beneath you, and you become out of your depth. There's this moment of experiencing a letting go, a surrender, as you step out of your depth and float on the surface of the ocean, feeling the water taking you this way and that way, feeling the calming motion. And on a deeper level, feeling the ocean within your pores, that everything is moving within you. There is nothing solid. Gradually being pulled out into the depths of the ocean by the currents that are pulling you this way and that beneath. And there's so much pleasure. There's no decision making. You don't have to know where you're going. You are completely attuned to the water, to the ocean. And as you flow out into the waves and flow out deeper and deeper onto the ocean, you come upon a whirlpool area. The current glides you all the way out, And you become aware that you are starting to go into this spinning whirlpool, which is moving counterclockwise, anti-clockwise, widdershins. And you're spiraling and spiraling. And you feel yourself being sucked down into the ocean. There's a moment where you realize that you can actually breathe without breathing, that you are so fully immersed in water, you have become water herself. And allowing yourself to experience moving from earth to water. But this very special whirlpool area is a place of purification, and it has a magical energy. As you swirl round, moving Widdershin's direction, you are releasing anything that is holding you back from magnificence. You experience yourself as purely one with water. All the things that you came here to do, all the things you came here to become, are entirely yours alone. There is nobody like you. And you can feel the power of that because you are sitting within your own energy field, experiencing all the things that you came to do, all the essence of self, all the magnificence of the things that you wish to be. And within the pores, you can identify tiny stuck particles. These little gritty bits within each pore are the resentments that you hold. And you recognize there is a shadowy self, a shadowy body that is within the whole of your essence that has blocked the magnificence because it is dense energy, gritty, that no longer works for you. And as you get sucked deeper and deeper into this whirlpool, start to experience whirlpools in every single pore of your being. The motion of this spinning and spinning the waters so that the gritty resentments can no longer exist, they dissolve. And allow yourself to experience, first of all, grit within each pore and the gradual movement of this never-ending cycle of flushing and purification, dissolving even the hardest stones. As you surrender even deeper, you feel the final process suck you under the ocean, and breathing freely, you feel the weightlessness as you leave some of this resentment behind. This energy which no longer serves you has just been cleared and cleansed in the magical whirlpool. And now you can freely go anywhere you want to. As you start to swim underwater effortlessly, breathing water, being water, you notice all the vast plant life underneath, the coral. You see beautiful fish, glowing, strange creatures coming up to you. And at the bottom of the ocean, you also notice, from centuries of travel of human beings, boats that have been shipwrecked, And within some of the skeleton forms of the boats, you also see flashes of gold. Your curiosity takes you there, and you swim down within one of these ancient boats, all the way to the bottom, and you find some of the treasure that has been left on the ocean. You see caskets and baskets pouring out gold and gems, beautiful stones which have been carried around the earth at some ancient time. And as you move your hands through them, there is one particular stone that you feel you must bring with you. Because you are naked, you have got nowhere to carry this. So you carefully choose something that you're able to hold in one hand while also swim with the other. Notice the color of this stone. Notice if it's highly faceted. Is it sending flickers of light all the way through the ocean as you pick it up? Or is it much more dense and dark? Whatever it is, this treasure which is yours, you make a choice to carry it with you. And moving on, carrying this beautiful gift of the ocean floor, you move forward until you see what is like an underwater altar. Placed on this altar are the four elements. Though it is impossible, you see a candle burning. You see incense billowing up from the altar. You see a chalice of water, and you see a bowl of salt. As you hover above the altar, you become acutely aware of the back of your heart. Breathing into the back of the heart and floating above the altar, start to picture in the back of the heart, there is a mirror at the back of your heart, which has had splatters of paint all over it. These splatters are all the fears, all the doubts, all the resentments, all the heartaches, all the heartbreaks, all the disillusion that has ever come your way. And you realize that this mirror is coated with this kind of splattering effect that you cannot actually see clearly into the mirror. But taking with your other hand that is not holding the gem, a painter's scraper, a golden painter's scraper, you start to go to work on this paint. You start to scrape away. And some of the energy is really easy. You move flecks of paint that have been there for a while, but some of them are incredibly difficult. You have to use all your energy to scrape and chip away at them to release them. And as you release them, you start to see them floating up to the surface of the water. All these chips that you're scraping and polishing until you're almost done. But there are two particular difficult splatters of paint that really need some force. And so you go in and you scrape with all your might until finally these two are released. And it feels like such a relief as you see them floating all the way up above you, all the way to the surface of the water. Now you can look into the mirror. All this energy at the back of the heart, which is a resource that you never used before. Now look into the mirror and see yourself as magnificent. Like a child, imagine if you were dressed as a king or a queen, wearing an audacious outfit of magnificence, wearing a crown, being whatever you want to be. Imagine the kind of audacious outfit that you would wear if you were dressing yourself as magnificent. See yourself in this mirror as utterly magnificent. And just like a child, imagining turning around, laughing, nobody else is watching, you can just be magnificent you. And as you breathe in this energy of magnificence, you start to feel lighter. And you start to experience floating all the way up, up, up from the depths of the ocean. Floating all the way up, enjoying the ride. Feeling the lightness and the surrender as you are guided and floated upwards by the currents, all the way up to the surface of the ocean, where you break through with a splash, with a gasp, as you pop and bob up into the air, and you take a deep breath in and exhale. As you float on the ocean with the arms spread, legs spread, hair billowing around you, effortless, you look up into the sky and you see a huge full moon directly above you. And you feel the energy of the moonbeams coming down, the radiance of this light, the beautiful circles moving all the way out, the circles of light, the aura around this moon. And floating there, feeling utterly at peace, you feel what it's like to be in the arms of the mother, completely looked after, completely accepted, completely enjoying yourself, pure pleasure, nothing to do, nowhere to go. And feeling the ripples from this place of complete satisfaction, feeling the ripples going out through the ocean and connecting with every single other living being on the planet. The simplicity of ease, the simplicity of magnificence, pure peace in your heart. Taking a deep breath in, exhale. Taking another breath in, moving the belly, side ribs, back, upper chest, Exhale. One more of those. Moving the belly, side ribs, back, upper chest. Sip the breath. Hold. And release. Ah. Bringing your hands together, keeping your eyes closed. Rub the palms together, generating heat. And then placing your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in and exhale. And again, keeping your eyes closed, rub, 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 generating heat. Place your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in and exhale. And one more of those, really generate heat. Placing your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in and exhale. And then rubbing your scalp, temples, jaw, face, back of the neck, front of the throat, heart, belly, and then rubbing all the way down the legs. And coming into the space. All the kiddies came for the finale. Oh, great. Yeah, my two have just come in, actually. So this energy, this is the moon in Cancer. This is the ocean, the mother, surrender. And you can feel as we move away from some of these little niggles, actually how easy life can be. And the key is to embrace this energy, imprint it on your heart, on your mind, on your soul, so that as we move forward in this year, as I said, we're moving from peak to peak. So it is not about like, I am a student, I am learning, and I'm going to take a long time to get somewhere. It's like, you're here, boom, like you're right here. This is you. This is your power. This is your presence that's needed. This is the compassionate, emotionally intelligent Cancer. And we are moving this as the foundation of the year. So this foundational piece, all that ability to handle all of it, the capacity, the emotional capacity, is what is the indicator for the whole year of us being able to create whatever we're creating. And I know some of you are up to huge, huge things. I'm up to huge this year. And it's not about power over, it's about this is your power. You take up that space. You are that present. So does anybody want to say anything about your journey, any insights, anything at all. Most welcome to come in. I'm glad that was dreamy and you feel lovely. Monty feels lovely. I'm so glad.
I'll say something
Thank
quick.
you, Laurie, also. Yeah, go for it. Oh, cats. I love it.
That the ending of being held by the mother was just like this I feel like that was this moment where the trust just like completely opened up. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. It was really, really nice. Trust is where evolution lies. So thank you, Inara. You're the best. I love you.
You guys are all the best, and that's why I'm doing it. You know, it's a pleasure to be able to do my medicine for you, to help you with whatever you're doing. So, anybody else at all? I appreciate many of these comments as well. Sue's, thank you, feeling lighter. Geraldine, thank you, that was beautiful. Grace, really in tune, feels really nice. And if we can be this, imagine what we could create, right? No resentment, we clear it, clear it, clear it. And this is Cancer at the best. I mean, the thing about it with energetics is when you surrender and you are this open, then opportunities are always attracted to you. It's different than how people talk about manifestation, like it's a thing that you're doing, like a wizard manifesting. It's alignment. Opportunities are moved to your magnificence. Anybody else?
Resonating. When I stop
I'm having
go
difficulty, Geraldine, just with your reception. Just lean in a bit and see if, because it's choppy. Just say that again.
not nothing, put it in.
I can't. Damn. There's something with the reception. Yeah. Well, I'll leave this with you guys now. Some of you are on my mailing list. I've decided for simplicity, I'm not doing any of these like, here's a container, here's this and that. It's just my mailing list. Get on it. I will send you these free, connections because that's part of the work that I'm doing. And I'll also tell you some of the things that I'm doing, which are some of the work I'm doing. If you feel connected to it, please join me. But just to say, I will say from Grace, so powerful, still no, it's Grace Silva. So powerful, still processing. The jewel dissolved into my heart. The consciousness of water has been present with me a long while. I was told long ago by Divine Mother that I would work to help clean a major river. Yay! Thank you, Inarra, for helping me remember my power, my grace, the love that I am. And yes, exactly. That's all we're doing is remembering who we are. And it's been such a total pleasure. I'm going to go out and have a look at the moon now because she will be up. Look at the moon tonight. Allow yourself to feel this soft. And for those of you who I haven't connected with for a long time, let's connect. Feels like it's time to be connected. So sending you oodles of love, so much love on your journey. And I'll say goodbye. Aho. So mote it be. Blessed be. And so it is.
Thank you.
Mwah.
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 Much love. I got a dash. Bye.
See you later.